My friends, I need you to stop whatever you're doing right now and give me just the next few minutes of your time, because what I'm about to share with you today could directly affect the money that hits your bank account this coming April 3rd. And I mean directly, as in we're talking about your groceries, your medications, your electric bill, and the peace of mind that comes from knowing exactly what's coming and when. Now, I know a lot of you have been feeling the pinch lately. Prices are still high at the grocery store. Prescription costs aren't getting any cheaper. And when you're living on a fixed income, whether that's Social Security retirement, SSDI, or SSI, every single dollar matters. So when there's a payment coming that could be over $2,100, and some of you may not even know you qualify for it, I feel like it's my duty to sit down with you, friend to friend, and walk you through every single detail. Because the Social Security Administration doesn't always send you a letter explaining the good stuff. That's what I'm here for. So let's get into it together, because this April 3rd deposit could be bigger than you think. And I want to make sure every one of you gets every cent you deserve. So who is actually getting paid on April 3rd? Let me start with the basics, because I know some of you have heard different things from different people and it gets confusing. The Social Security Administration, the SSA, follows a very specific payment schedule every single month. And it's based primarily on your date of birth and when you first started receiving benefits. Here's the thing that trips a lot of people up. If you started receiving Social Security benefits before May 1997, meaning you've been collecting for a long, long time, or if you receive both Social Security and Supplemental Security Income, also known as SSI, then you are in the group that gets paid on the 3rd of every month. That's the April 3rd deposit we're talking about today. This also includes people who receive SSI as their only benefit. So if you are in any of those categories, mark your calendar right now. Wednesday, April 3rd, that's your day. Now, for those of you who started receiving Social Security after May 1997 and you only received Social Security, not SSI, your payment date is tied to your birthday. If your birthday falls between the 1st and the 10th of any month, you get paid on the second Wednesday of April, which this year lands on April 9th. If your birthday is between the 11th and the 20th, your payment comes on the third Wednesday, April 16th. And if your birthday is between the 21st and the 31st, the fourth Wednesday, April 23rd, is your payment date. So make sure you know which group you fall into, because I've talked to so many seniors who genuinely didn't know why their neighbor got paid on a different day. Now you know exactly why. How much is this $2,100 plus payment and who qualifies? Now let's talk about the number everyone wants to know about, that $2,100 plus figure. Where does it come from and who is actually getting it? Here's the truth, and I'm going to give it to you straight like a good friend always does. The $2,100 or more payment is the result of two things coming together: the 2025 cost of living adjustment and your individual Social Security benefit amount based on your lifetime earnings record. The COLA for 2025 was set at 2.5%. Now, I know some of you were hoping for more after what we went through with inflation over the last few years, and I hear you. But that 2.5% increase has already been applied to your monthly check as of January 2025. What that means is if you were getting around $1,900 a month before the COLA kicked in, you are now receiving roughly $1,947 to $1,950 per month. But for those of you who had higher lifetime earnings, perhaps you worked for 30, 35, even 40 years in a well-paying job, your monthly benefit could already be in that $2,000 to $2,200 range or even higher. The maximum Social Security retirement benefit in 2025 for someone who retires at full retirement age is $4,018 per month. For those who delayed retirement all the way to age 70, the maximum is even higher, up to $5,108 per month. Now, those are the maximum numbers, and most people don't hit those, but the average Social Security retirement benefit as of early 2025 sits right around $1,976 per month. Add delayed retirement credits, a working spouse's record, or certain adjustments, and yes, many people are comfortably receiving $2,100, $2,200 or more every single month. So when we say the $2,100 plus payment on April 3rd, we're talking about you, the long-term beneficiaries, the retirees who worked hard and paid into the system, the folks who've been collecting since the late 1990s or earlier. Many of you are in that range or close to it. The 2025 COLA increase, what it means for your real dollar amount. Let me paint a real-life picture for you, because numbers on a screen don't always feel real until you apply them to someone's actual life. Let's say there's a woman. Let's call her Margaret. Margaret is 72 years old, lives in Ohio, and has been collecting Social Security since she retired at 66. Before the 2025 COLA, she was getting $2,050 a month. After the 2.5% increase, Margaret is now receiving $2,125 per month. That's an extra $51.25 every single month. Over the course of a year, that adds up to $615 in additional income. That's not nothing. That's a month's worth of groceries. That's several prescription refills. That's a small cushion for an unexpected expense. Now multiply that across the nearly 68 million Americans who receive Social Security, and you see why these COLA adjustments matter so much. For Margaret and millions like her, that April 3rd deposit is $2,100 or more hitting their account, and that is real money for real lives. What about SSDI recipients? Are you included? Absolutely, and I want to make sure my SSDI family feels seen today, because sometimes you get left out of these conversations, and that's not fair. If you're receiving Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI, your payment schedule works exactly the same way as regular Social Security retirement benefits. Your payment date is based on your date of birth, just like I described earlier, and your benefit also received the 2.5% COLA increase in January 2025. The average SSDI payment as of 2025 is approximately $1,537 per month, though many recipients receive more depending on their work history and the number of years they paid into Social Security before becoming disabled. If you're receiving SSDI and you have dependents, a spouse or children who receive benefits on your record, those family member payments also receive the COLA bump. One thing I want to flag for my SSDI recipients specifically: if you are also working part-time under the substantial gainful activity rules, make sure you are staying below the monthly earnings threshold, which in 2025 is $1,620 per month for non-blind individuals and $2,700 for blind individuals. Going over that amount, even briefly, can trigger a review and potentially affect your benefits. Please be mindful of that. SSI recipients, your April 3rd payment explained. Now let's talk about SSI, Supplemental Security Income, because this is one of the most misunderstood programs in the whole benefit system, and I want to clear things up for you. If you receive SSI, your payment always comes on the first of the month, except when the first falls on a weekend or a federal holiday, in which case the SSA sends your payment early on the last business day of the prior month. In April 2025, the first is a Tuesday, so SSI recipients will receive their payment on April 1st. However, some of you receive both SSI and Social Security. If that's you, you get two separate payments: your SSI on the 1st and your Social Security on the 3rd. That can be a nice little 1-2 punch at the start of the month. The maximum federal SSI payment in 2025 is $967 per month for an individual and $1,450 per month for an eligible couple. Now, your actual amount may be lower based on your other income, your living situation, and your state's supplemental payment rules. Speaking of which, if you live in a state that offers additional SSI supplements on top of the federal amount, you may be receiving more than the federal maximum. States like California, New York, and several others add their own money on top of what the federal government sends. If you're not sure whether your state offers this and you've never looked into it, it might be worth a quick call to your local SSA office. VA benefits. Are veterans getting an April increase too? Yes, and I'm so glad you asked, because I have many veterans in this community and I want to make sure you're taken care of. Veterans' disability compensation and pension payments from the Department of Veterans Affairs also received a COLA increase for 2025, the same 2.5% that Social Security applied. VA benefits are paid on the first business day of each month, and for April 2025, that means your VA payment arrives on April 1st. For veterans receiving both VA disability compensation and Social Security, you are receiving two separate streams of income, each adjusted upward by 2.5%. If you haven't double-checked your VA payment amount since January to confirm the increase was applied, log into your va.gov account, or call 1-800-827-1000 to verify. Some veterans are surprised to find they've been underpaid, especially if there were processing delays at the start of the year. Also, and this is critically important for any veteran receiving both VA disability and Social Security disability, you need to understand the rules around concurrent receipt. In many cases, you can receive both payments in full with no offset. However, if you receive VA pension, not disability compensation, but pension, there may be interactions with SSI that reduce one benefit when the other increases. Please talk to a VA benefits counselor or a Social Security advocate about your specific situation. Are there any reductions or offsets you need to watch for? My friends, I would not be doing my job if I only told you the good news and skipped the part that could catch you off guard. So let me be honest with you here. Some of you may see your April deposit be less than you expected, and there are a few reasons why. First, Medicare Part B premiums are automatically deducted from your Social Security check. The standard Part B premium for 2025 is $185 per month, up from $174.70 in 2024. That increase alone can eat into the COLA raise you just received. If your COLA bump was $40 to $50 a month, and your Part B premium went up by $10 or $15, you're keeping less of that increase than you thought. It's frustrating, but it's something to factor in. Second, if you have any overpayment situations with the SSA, meaning the SSA believes it previously paid you more than it should have, they may be withholding a portion of your monthly benefit to recover that overpayment. The SSA recently changed its default withholding rate for new overpayment cases, so if you received a notice about this, please don't ignore it. You have the right to appeal, to request a waiver if repayment would cause financial hardship, and to negotiate the withholding rate. Don't let that process happen to you silently. Take action. Third, if you have wages from a job, rental income, or other income sources and you're receiving SSI, those earnings can reduce your monthly SSI payment. The SSA uses a specific formula, and it's worth understanding how your personal situation affects your check. Smart strategies to maximize what you receive. Let me leave you today with a few things you can actually do, because information without action is just noise, and you deserve better than that. First, if you haven't already, set up your My Social Security account at ssa.gov. From there, you can view your exact payment amount, see your payment history, update your direct deposit information, and even check your earnings record for errors. Errors on your earnings record can mean you're getting less than you're entitled to, and fixing them, especially if you have older work history, could increase your monthly benefit. Second, if you're not yet 70 and you haven't started collecting Social Security, consider whether waiting longer makes sense for you. Every year you delay past full retirement age, up to 70, your benefit grows by 8%. That's a significant guaranteed return that no bank account in this country can match right now. Third, if you are a surviving spouse, please make sure you've looked into survivor benefits. Many widows and widowers are leaving money on the table because they don't realize they may be eligible to receive their deceased spouse's higher benefit amount. This could be hundreds of dollars more per month. And finally, if you have questions, real specific questions about your situation, please reach out to a Social Security benefits counselor. Many local area agencies on aging offer free counseling, and the National Council on Aging has resources available online as well. You worked too hard and paid in too long to leave any of this money behind. My friends, the April 3rd deposit is coming, and for millions of you, it represents over $2,100 landing in your account, the result of a lifetime of hard work and the COLA increase you earned. Know your payment date, verify your amount, watch for deductions, and take action on anything that doesn't look right. You deserve to feel secure, informed, and confident about your finances, and that's exactly why I'll be right here every single week, bringing you the updates you need. If this video helped you today, please give it a like, share it with a friend or family member who might need this information, and subscribe so you never miss an important update. I'll see you in the next one. Take good care of yourselves.